Another suggestion is to be realistic. In our commitment to quality theological education, in emergency situations, we can fall into the trap of keeping our standards too high and our regulations too firm. So here are just some examples of areas of common sense that can help us in serving our students well. First of all, you may want to keep deadlines for assessments, but be flexible. Be more generous in granting extensions or in delaying deadlines, but always consult first with the academic deans to make sure that you're acting within the larger picture. Secondly, be willing to change learning tasks. If, for example, you had assigned a learning task or assessment that requires extensive library research, you will need to remodulate this if you know that students will not be allowed to access the library for a month. Likewise, if students were scheduled for classroom presentations as part of their assessment, allow them to produce videos. Or if you have always insisted on printed essays, be ready to accept digital submission. Also, if you don't have a virtual learning environment and online education set up before the emergency, don't act as if you did. If you are untrained in online education, do not go too far in improvising, as this can turn out really badly. This also applies to your students who may not be ready to recognize quality in online delivery and might easily be disappointed if you promise them that nothing will change. Act on what technology there is. If you don't have equipment to record videos, and if your students don't have data plans that will allow them inexpensive download of video content, simply don't produce videos as an alternative to your lectures. Find other ways. For example, as we've said, more reading assignments or simple audio recordings. If your institution does not have digital experts or does not support online learning activities, don't expect these to materialize from thin air. You may be left to find out how to make the best of your antiquated laptop or discover new uses of your mobile phone. It's also important to grade understandingly. If the emergency has deprived your students of carefully planned learning in a conducive environment, don't grade their work as normal. Some margin of compensation must be factored in to not penalize students for no fault of their own. Be aware that the emergency will change you. Don't expect to remain the same, nor to enjoy the same kind of learning delivery you're used to. You will likely be less satisfied, especially initially, but remember that something is better than nothing. And who knows, you may be forced to stretch yourself and discover new things as well. So, in general, these are just some examples of common sense things that you need to keep in mind in being realistic as the circumstances have changed. If you're dealing with an emergency situation, you need to adapt what you're doing as a theological educator to that situation.